dying embers of the fire.
Hi there, welcome to another Team Clueless Christmas Battle Report. It's that time of year again where we get together and play a really stupid scenario because it's Christmas. So I have with me today Nicholas in all his Christmassy glory, Andy in his Christmassy glory, and myself. I am in Christmassy glory, believe me. Okay, so we have a really strange mission today. You'll notice it looks like we've got a Zone Mortalis table we're playing on, but actually no, it is floating above the table. So we are playing a game called Yuletide Sleigh Ride. So let's attempt to go through this mission and what it involves. So I'm going to read out the little blurb I wrote. I might give Nick the camera.
Do you want me to take the camera?
You take the camera.
And look.
See, I am in Christmas splendour. Excuse the skanky t-shirt. Nick moaned at me. Okay, so the famed Tech-Priest Dominus, there isn't a comma there, Sanatra Kraw has gone mad, pulling her personal manufacturum headquarters, known as the Sleigh, out of the ground using antigravitic technology. He has taken off around the planet, dropping gifts on unsuspecting imperial citizens. And he is guarded by a group of battle servitors he's taking to calling his little elves. This menace must be stopped. So, as you can see, we have the sleigh floating above the battlefield. It has stopped because it has found a glorious sign of Christmas just in front of it. And Nick shows you the amazing, fully light up LED Christmas tree. I know, if you watched last year's battle report, you'll have seen its glory before, but it is back again today.
Without the light last year.
Well, yeah, because none of us forget to turn it on. So, how does this game work? So we're using our modified Zone Mortalis rules. I'm not going to go through them. I've just subjected these two to the rules. I'm not going to do that to our unsuspecting listeners. They basically mean fighting inside is close quarters, Overwatch is slightly better, explosive weapons are slightly better, you can't move through walls, you can't measure through walls. That's about it. There are doors which are locked. You can see the doors on there. You can close combat them to death, shoot them to death, or there's a stratagem to blow them up if you're close to them. Okay, victory conditions. How do you win the game, I hear you ask?
You'd already told me. How do you win the game?
That's it, Nick. I'll just cut that bit out when you were saying. Okay, you get 1 victory point for controlling the Christmas tree at the end of your turn. So that's designed that it can change hands quite frequently. We'll nick it off each other, take control of it, gain victory points. You get 1 victory point for killing each elf.
That would be these Castellan robots that are
so they're
using
using the rules for Castellan robots. Their heads have been replaced by Christmas hats by the mad Sanatra Kraw, but they still seem to be able to see okay. They use a modified version of our Monster Hunter random monster movement rules. They basically consist of, on their turn, they will go towards stuff if stuff has hurt them. If nothing has hurt them, they'll wander randomly, and then they will shoot and charge whatever's close to them after they're moved. Okay, next victory point you get is for killing each other's warlords. So, Nick, who's your warlord?
Gazgul for me.
Andy, your warlord?
I've got the Demon Prince.
And my warlord will be Astarath the Grim. Okay, so there are warlords. We get a victory point for killing them. That's the only point that is earned through killing opposing models. Okay, next up we have 2 points for killing Sanatra Kraw. If you kill her, though, the spirit of Christmas will bring her back. So the first time she dies, we will take her model and place it inside this locked chamber here, where she will resurrect in her spare body she carries around for special occasions. We then have to go and try and kill her again. If somebody kills her again, her second body is worth 3 victory points for whoever kills them. So she is worth a lot of victory points. Or he. Who knows? It's a Tech-Priest. And you get 1 point for controlling the engineering section computer. You get that point at the end of each battle round. It's a slight bonus to the person who's going last, has more chance of scoring it. Okay, other rules we'll quickly go through. Nick, if you could show the viewers the gravitic downblasts, which are shooting out from underneath the sleigh as it hovers above the battlefield.
Oh, I actually go down on my knees. Sorry for shaky camera there.
Okay, so you can't move through those because the blast would squish you to the floor, but you can shoot through them. If you shoot through them and half the enemy model is only visible through the gravitic downblast, then you get -1 to hit. There is a bonus to this gravitic downblast, though, because the gravitic downblast is forcing all the air down to the bottom of the thing. It's creating an upwash that comes up the sides of the sleigh, making it much easier to get into and out of the sleigh. So it only costs 3 inches of movement to go from the battlefield up to the deck of the sleigh and attempt to enter. You can land anywhere you like on the Zone Mortalis board, including around this front. There are no openings, so I don't know why you would, but you might want to. It'll be like Flash Gordon, you just hang off the side and shoot stuff. Okay, we've done covering the movement of everything. Are there any other rules? I mean, probably this is me. Ah, yes, present drops. So, the automatic systems on the sleigh, even though it is under attack by myriad forces, it's still dropping presents onto the battlefield. So at the start of each battle round, we will deploy 2 presents onto the battlefield, and if a unit controls them at the start of their turn, meaning they can open it straight away, if they are lucky enough to have first turn and it lands at their feet, then you get to open it and you roll a d6. There are only 3 results, but they are all reasonably useful. The first result is Blessing of the Emperor, or Nurgle, or maybe Gork and Mork, depending on who you are. You roll a d6, that dice and the result it has on it, you put off to one side. You can then use that dice in place of rolling a dice later in the game. It's basically the new Sisters of Battle faith mechanic. You basically get a faith dice. If you roll a 3 and a 4 when you open the present, you gain a command point. Always a bonus. That's mind-expanding mulled wine you find in your lovely little gift. And lastly, you find a Masterwork Mechanical Doodad, which gives you a victory point if you open it and have rolled a 5 or a 6. And they are all the rules. We're playing 3-player game today, so there's a few slight differences in how combat works, but I'm not going to go into them. If you really want to know,
see previous 3-player
ask in the
games.
comments below, or go and look at a previous 3-player game and try and discern the rules as I mumble them.
Which should be in the last video that we posted up.
It should be, probably. Okay, let's see what armies we got today. Okay, so I am bringing Blood Angels with me today. With the release of the Blood of Baal supplement, Blood Angels have become a lot better, shall we say. We've also got the new chapter approved, so we've got new points values, making a lot of things more usable than they once were. I've got a mix of stuff that's been greatly improved that I really want to try, and some old favourites which I think are pretty useful for this mission. So let's start off. We have our Warlord, Astorath the Grim. You can tell he's got better in the rules because I've started painting the model that I bought about 10 years ago. Same with the Sanguinor there. I've got him as my second HQ. I am playing with 2 Vanguard detachments today. Because we wanted it to be an elite game, Vanguard detachments are gaining 3 command points if you've taken one instead of the usual 1. Okay, so I have those 2 there. Then I have 2 squads of Death Company. 1 of 6, 1 of 5. One's got a Thunder Hammer and a Power Axe. One's got a couple of Power Fists. All the Death Company got bolt guns and chainswords. Over here we have 5 Sanguinary Guard. These things have improved greatly in the new rules. I've asked for some from Santa for Christmas, so I can have a unit of 10 in the future. Okay, they have got a mix of swords, axes, and they've all got the little Angelus bolt gun, which is basically a short-range AP1 bolt gun. Over here, I have taken a Bale Predator. Now, these still aren't very good, but it's very Blood Angel-y, and I knew orcs might be here, so I wanted something that could shoot them a lot. So I've taken that, and I've also got a Vindicator with Stormbolter attachment on top to put out some heavy fire. Vindicator's got a lot better a few months back when they doubled their shots, basically. Then I have a second Vanguard detachment, which is led by this guy down here, who is a Terminator Captain with Storm Shield and a Chain Fist. I have taken 2 squads of Terminators. One are Assault Terminators. They've got 3 Thunderhammers, 2 Lightning Claws. And one over here is a standard Terminator squad, all with Stormbolters. One's got a Cyclone, one's got a Chain Fist, and the Sergeant is forced to take a Power Sword for some reason. And lastly, our last elite unit is this guy. I'll pick him up so I can explain him. This is a Terminator Ancient. Now you may ask, Terminator Ancients are supposed to have banners. Why have you got a Terminator Apothecary? They don't exist. Well, they used to exist, and I like the model. I've given my Terminator Ancient the Standard of Sacrifice, which gives a 5+ Feel No Pain bubble around him. So I think using the Apothecary model for him fits quite nicely. And that is my not 1700. I didn't take 1700, honest guys.
Oh, he's cheating already.
That is my 1500 points of Blood Angels.
Right, and I've bought, it's a Christmas game, so the Orcsies have come back along. Gazgul heard there was something new to hunt, so he's come out to obviously go kill a hunted Tech-Priest. So we are led by Gazzy. We have also brought along Boss Zagstruck with 10 Storm Boys. We've got...
Are they still armless?
Yeah, so half of them are.
Oh.
We've got 2 units of Meganobs. We have got a Death Dread. We've got 1 truck. And we've got 10 Gretchen. We haven't brought any Orc Boys along.
No Orc Boys. I think there's going to be a revolution in this.
We've bought a Runt Herd. And, as it's Christmas, he's here. The Red Gobbo. He's coming back to take his sleigh.
You think that Sanatra Kraw is going to defend her sleigh versus that evil bastard?
No. So as Games Workshop released the model, I had to take Orcs just to bring that along. But
nicely painted, Nick. Did you do that yourself?
Yeah, I did the Red Gobbo myself. Thank you, Jason. It's our friend Jason over at Painting Nights. You can check his Facebook page out, who painted that one for me. But that's a bit small for 1,500 points for the Orcs.
So, what's going on?
I'm going to swing it over here. We've taken a second unit. We've got these of Death Skulls. So I have Orcs with an invulnerable save.
Nick is using two different kind of like
I know
things. This is very strange.
I mean, I felt the need for speed.
Good choice.
So that is a war trike that's in construction at the moment as the HQ. We have got the Dragster. We've got a Snazwagon, I believe that one was called, that I managed to finish painting yesterday. And we have got the Booster Blaster.
Isn't there a rocket truck squig?
There's a squig launcher one, which is next to paint after this one.
That's why that one's not here.
And then there's a scrap jet one as well, which is to be painted as well.
Excellent.
And my unit of bikers here are knob bikers.
Ooh, I just received a points drop in chapter approve, I believe.
Yes, they did indeed. So 10 extra points. The drops are the 10 points more than war bikers, but they get an extra strength, extra attack, and an extra wound.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So obviously with them, I've got one with a power claw and one with a big chopper.
Nice.
So there's 6 knob war bikers there as well, and that is my 1,500 point army. And now we've got Andy's list. What we got here, Andy?
Okay, going through the Deathguard, we've got a Demon Prince, we have Typhus, the obligatory one, and we have a Tallyman. Troop-wise, we've got 2 units of 5 Marines, nice big unit of Poxwalkers, 20 of them there, 2 Blight Drones with Death Spitters, 2
Hellbrutes.
Brutes. That is Fist and Multi-Melter, that is 2 Fists, unit of Death Shroud Terminators, and a nice big...
You're
Defiler.
using it as a Defiler, that's a Soul Grinder model.
Yeah, it's a Defiler with a cannon, an Auto Reaper, a Fist, and everything
All
else.
kinds of guns.
It's
Let's
got
point
the
out that Andy only started playing again about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
yeah.
although this isn't all Andy's, but Andy has done the Marines, the Poxwalkers, Typhus,
2 bloke drones.
2 bloke drones, some of the Death Shroud. So.
What have you painted that time, Nick? I think I've painted I painted the Blood Angel's Captain.
I finished this off, and yesterday it took me most of the day just to finish the guy on the back there and get as much as this painted as I could.
Nice. So Andy is quicker at painting than us.
I do find the new contrast paints very useful, very easy, and you get nice results.
Yeah,
so
they look
I
good.
do recommend them. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, let's get ourselves set up.
Yeah. Okay, you join us after setup. 3-player games have a really weird setup thing where we roll off. One of us has to choose a starting position. Then the other 2 people, there are loads of distances involved. Basically, it ends up with 3 people set up around the board and they can't get within 24 inches of each other on that turn. Okay, so let's look what happened. So I rolled and got to pick first deployment zone, which I don't think is particularly useful for me, but with the bonus, I decided to go for the tree here. So I have deployed here. I am hiding behind this hill. I get to choose the deployment zone, but I set up last, so I get to see where everybody else is. So you'll notice I'm hiding behind vehicles and a large rock. But also I get to go last, so the turn order will be Nick, then Andy, then myself. So there is all my force deployed there, other than, I'll just spin round, my Terminator contingent, which are all in deep strike. So nearly half my army is off the table. Then Andy got to deploy second. And choose his deployment zone second. So he chose deployment over here. You can see he's basically got his big long wodge of stuff. We start 24 inches away from each other, so that will curb first turn assaults that way. But there is no such thing saving the elves in the Zone Mortalis. So you can start right on the line and jump up into the zone turn 1 if you wish to. So Andy has deployed all his stuff there. Have you got anything in deep strike, Andy?
I have my Terminator.
He's got his 5 Terminators in deep strike too. Nick over here has got to deploy first. He got to choose deployment zone last, but sometimes that can be crippling. Like the last 3-player game we played, Nick deployed last and it wasn't very clever for him. Got to choose the deployment zone last and it wasn't clever. But this turn he got to choose deployment zone last and basically it was where he wanted to be anyway. So he is deployed all along here. Gazgul and his bodyguard of Cowardly Orcs here are going to jump up here, no doubt, and engage the first elf there. He's got his speed Death Skulls over here. He'll charge forward and try and grab my Christmas tree. And the rest of his stuff is scattered around with his Death Dread here, probably going to leap up. Okay, so you can see up here in the zone, I'll just quickly go through. So we've got elves deployed there. They're both shooty types of elves. There is the back engine thing that we get to control at the end of the battle round. There are doors here blocking either end to this central sanctum where Sanata, nearly got the name wrong, will deploy later on. Inside this zone, there is a close combat elf, and there is also a sentry gun. The sentry gun, during each player turn, will fire at the first unit it sees move. It's got kind of like movement sensors like a T-Rex. If you stand still in front of it, it's not going to shoot you. Move an inch and it will blow you away. Well, not really, because it's got the BS of an orc. We have 2 more gun elves there. And then in the bridge area here, we have Sanatra Kraw and her close combat bodyguard elf there with her. Okay, that is everything. Let's get started. Okay, we're finished turn 1. And let's see what happened. Okay, Nick had first turn. What did you do, Nick?
But all the ground assault stuff, buggies, bikes went flying down here towards the Christmas tree.
I mean,
the dragster.
How good was that decision looking back, Nick?
Great. I got a victory point out of it.
You did. Nick managed to jump.
I
didn't you?
managed to jump the dragster. First time I've actually been able to do it.
Yeah, you never roll the advance roll, do you?
So I got by the tree with the dragster.
The dragster ended up about there.
I opened fire at the Vindicator. I think that's the deadly one at the vehicles for obviously.
As it proved.
And unfortunately, I barely scratched it with shooting everything at it. I mean, I did hit it with the dragster and that. But...
We did completely forget your Death Skull bonus of re-rolling hits and stuff until the end of Andy's turn.
Yeah,
so it was a bit late to go back.
And I don't think it would have made a huge difference.
I spent the cover strat to give myself +1 armor save, as if I was in cover for the round, because Nick had lots of shooting at me, and that was actually quite helpful. It protected the Vindicator a couple of times.
Yeah, and the other part of the army, obviously, pretty much all jumped up here. So Death Dread come up here, engaged in an elf.
There was an elf right here.
Yeah. It didn't kill it in my turn, so I killed it in Andy's turn, so I took a lot of damage. The Death Dread is down to 2 wounds.
It did explode when you killed it, didn't it?
So it took 3 more wounds off the Death Dread. So it wasn't.
We decided that if you kill one of the elves, you get to wear their hats. So that's always fun.
The Red Gobbo and his unit of Gretchen have come round. They've jumped up to claim the sleigh.
There they are on the sleigh, looking good there.
And Gazzy Meganobs managed to get up and assault into another elf there. Gazzy
Gazzy is wearing the hat of the elf.
Gazzy breathed over it and it fell
killed
over.
it in a round, but it did manage to kill one of the Meganobs on Overwatch and such.
With my consolidate, because there was an elf over here, I went towards there. Gazzy has been able to get the victory point.
We need to go back this way. Let's see if I can not make you all go dizzy.
Do you want me to add the victory point?
No, I can do these things now. I can multitask. I'm a man. And the camera's still semi-pointing at the table. Okay.
And the only other thing was my truck reversed back because there's nothing really for the truck to do.
So it's on present hunting duty.
It's on present.
Oh yeah, present. One present came down here, which I was still in control of at the start of my turn. So I gained a CP, a command point through that. Andy we're going to go under here. The other one, you can see the shiny bauble there. Is there, and he wasn't next to it at the start of his turn, so he has marched towards it with his Deathguard. Are they within 3 inches? I think they probably are, just about. So
they should be.
They'll probably get to open it on Andy's turn. The baubles are a little bit rolly, so if they roll around on the table, well, bad luck.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Nick's turn. Andy, what did you do on your first turn?
Deathguard turn, just shuffled across towards the tree.
Yep.
At a great pace, went to get the bauble, and the Hell Brutes, the Demon Prince, and one of the drones came up into Mortalis.
No problem, and they've killed an elf, as you can see by the Demon Prince.
Yeah.
Wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Again, it took Andy a couple of turns though to get rid of
Again,
that one.
it did.
This one's taken a couple of wounds, isn't it?
Yeah, this one is engaged in
I've taken
combat
some
with this
wounds
Hellbrute.
there and struggling to get it out of the way.
The robots, when they get engaged in combat, they basically treat all their guns as pistols, but suffer -1 to hit with them. So even when they're locked in combat, they're pretty deadly. They're flailing away with 9 phosphor blaster shots, which don't do a whole lot of damage, but they're strength 6 and AP -2, so they're pretty useful.
Yeah. Psychic wise, I did nothing. Not a thing.
Failed to cast a single power.
So, of all 3 attempts, failed a lot.
Yep.
Shooting wise, the Defiler and the Marines fired across at a buggy and bounced off effectively.
Yep.
So not a very good turn, I'm afraid, for me.
No, so over to me. So I'm using the new Blood Angel rules, so I get longer charge distance, so I get +1 to my charge. So I decided that it was worth a gamble. I hopped the Sanguinary Guard, who are snuggled up behind here, hopped them over here, and then ran and attempted to get out, didn't run, and then they charged forwards and managed to just about tag Nick's bike unit of biker knobs. They were in range of Astarath, who is my warlord, so Sanguinary Guard get to re-roll their hits when they're within 6 inches of the warlord. So they got to re-roll all their hits, and they cleaved through the entire unit of non-bikers without really breaking sweat. Cut them all into pieces. So I was pretty pleased with that. The Sanguinor has moved up here and is holding the tree, which gained me my only victory point. Under here, Nick did have his 3 buggies. Now, I feel a bit sorry for Nick because he's rushed to get them painted and they look really nice and they always die super easy. Luckily, Chapter Approved has made them cheaper. The Vindicator fired at one, blew it away. The Bale Predator fired at another, and that was the one Andy had shot as well. Blew that one away. And then the one at the front, the Shock Jump Dragster, had come a bit too close. The Death Company and Astarath charged in, and they cut it in half. So that was pretty handy for me. So Nick came charging at me. I have wiped him out, more or less. We have his war boss on trike there, who is probably going to deal a fair bit of damage to me on his turn, because that many Power Claw attacks are going to hurt something.
He doesn't have that stupid amount of power.
Oh, and he doesn't have a Power Claw either. He's got a funny claw.
He has, let me find him. Why is he? He has a Snagger Claw.
Oh yeah, very different to a Power Claw, just in case you're wondering.
He only gets +2 for strength, so it's only strength 7.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Only -2 save, and it's still D3 wounds. So it's not. You can re-roll wound rolls for the attack though.
Oh, okay, so it's
not,
it's a more or less a Power Claw, slightly worse.
Yeah, but I can shoot with it.
Do you get -1 to hit with it?
No.
Okay, well, that is our video on what a Snagger Claw does. So let's quickly stick some more presents on the table, shall we, Nick? So they're over there. You can't see me pointing on the camera, but there we go. Nick has found the presents. So the way this works is we use old-style scatter dice. If you've never played anything but 8th edition, there used to be these things called scatter dice, which used to use for all kinds of stuff. What's that?
So that's what we have to roll, see which section of the board.
Well, yeah, exactly. So the sections are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we roll a d6 to see which sections they come down in.
My d6s over here.
Okay.
So we are in 5 and 6.
Oh! So then we use the centre point over there, which is, cunningly, it should be just under the corner of the Zone Mortalis, Nick, if you go from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we stick our present down there and then scatter it 2d6 in a random direction.
And scatter dice.
It's a nice picture of Nick's arm there. Very masculine it is. So it goes that way. 6 inches.
On top
there, just out of range of the poor truck.
And number 6 on the corner.
Yeah, corner there. Let's go around to Andy's side. Nick will roll a scatter. Will any of us ever get to it?
Oh, comes this way 7.
That way 7. That's not bad for Andy. There we go. So if we're on those at the start of our turn, there we go. Just let it roll. Who knows where they'll land. That is how we arrive presents. We'll come back to you at the end of next turn. Okay, you join us at the end of round 2. Okay, Nick, what happened?
My Death Dread decided to open the door with the command point.
Yep.
Walked in and got shot by an elf and Santa.
Wasn't very good, was it? He died.
No, the Storm Boys and Zagstruck deep struck down here. It was going to be a 10-inch charge for Zagstruck. We attempted it, failed the charge, and he got shot to pieces. So
Overwatch and various things. The heavy incendium cannon on the elves.
Next couple of turns as well, because I was closest model. So Zagstruck is actually down to 1.
But your Storm Boys are fully healthy, and this guy's bodyguards appear to have wandered off.
I know.
What did the chicken do? Sorry, Gazgul do?
Gazgul, we consolidated ourselves around the corner.
He uses the word consolidate. He means to say Gazgul ran away.
To lure the Deathguard in.
Him and his 7 bodyguards.
Yeah, him and his load of bodyguards.
No, he never had 7
What did the
bodyguards.
Gretchen do, Nick? They
stood still.
They stood still. They just like being on there for the fun.
Yeah,
and down there.
The truck has backed away because the ball landed in there, so I can.
So he's hoping to gain you a victory point. Okay.
And I've lost everything under the table.
Yeah. On my turn,
I took out a few Death Companies.
Yeah, you killed most of the Death Company, but then Astra charged in and killed you on my turn.
Yes.
Andy, what did you do up here? You appear to not be a coward.
I advanced heroically.
Lured him into my trap.
I wiped out one of his units of Mega Knobs.
Yep.
You then charged me with your Terminator.
Yeah, I deep struck down back here.
Charged him in, and I've give them a bit of a spanking.
Yeah, you killed 2 of me. I've done you a couple of wounds. My 2 characters failed their charge, whereas my Terminators made their charge.
Heroically charged.
Wasn't so clever.
Over here, the 2 bodyguard, the elves, came through and attacked my boys there. I've killed 1.
Yeah, your Death Shroud came in, didn't
Death
they?
Shroud.
They killed this door.
Doing well.
This elf wandered out from in here, and the other bodyguard elf wandered out over here and was then cut to pieces. These Terminators of Andy's are ridiculous in close combat.
They are horrendous. You did have a unit of company of Death.
Yeah, my
Guards
Death Company up here got
the
breathed on.
Came up and shot, flamed them, and the Marines here finished them off.
Yep.
All pretty good. You shot at my Defiler, which is under the table.
My Vindicator and my Terminators, which you can see have arrived over there to claim Andy's bauble, or the bauble that's there.
You shot at my Marines and did nothing.
Yeah, did nothing down there, but we've knocked a couple of wounds off the Defiler, but not very many.
And my Poxwalkers, you've charged them.
I charged in with my Sanguinary Guard. Because they've got their Warlord near them, who is Astaroth there, they get to reroll all hits. The Sanguinor is also under there, so he gives them all +1 attack, meaning the Sanguinary Guard are a blender of a machine, and they'll get even better next turn when I'm in Assault Doctrine or Close Combat Doctrine. We killed this many Poxwalkers who are Toughness 5, so that was pretty useful. Let's see the scores on the doors, nearly forgot. Command point wise, I have spent 7 of my 9, Andy has spent 3 of his 8, and Nick has spent 3 of his 7. So they need to get spending. Victory point wise, Nick's early lead of 4 is still 4. Andy has 3 and I am on 2. The tree is serving me well here because I gain victory points from it, and I'm attempting to take the engineering place, but there are going to be no elves left for me to fight because they're nearly all dead. So I'll have to concentrate on Sanatra there. Okay, let's see what goes on next turn. You join us at the end of turn 3, so let's quickly go through what happened. Nick, you don't have much left. Explain what happened.
Runt Herd come down here because a bauble appeared.
Yeah, so he's going to get a present.
I got a 1 on. I got a bauble from the truck, and it was I get to keep a dice.
Faith dice. Yeah, it's a 1. Nice.
Dice, got that.
I forgot to use my 3 as my Storm Shield save.
Gretchen threw a load of grenades at the Hellbrute. Did nothing. I mean, I used to stretch myself through like 30 odd grenades. Gazgul left the Demon Prince on 1 wound. Storm Boys and everything left the Santa guy down there on 1 wound.
Yeah, you left the Hellbrute on 1 wound.
Everything was just left one.
But then I failed. My Terminators failed on the Demon Prince killing, didn't they, on your turn? But then if we just go through the full story of that thing down there, on Andy's turn, Andy attacked first but failed to kill anything. Then you blew up the Dreadnought.
I interrupted because you'd have the command point.
Because I'd have to spend a command point trying to save my Sanguinor.
Gazgul, the Hellbrute killed the 3 Mega Knobs, so there's only Gazgul left there. Gazgul did 2 attacks into the Hellbrute because it was on 1 wound, 4 into the Demon Prince because that was worth.
Failed to kill the 1 wound Demon Prince.
Failed to kill the Demon Prince. Killed the Hellbrute, who blew up, who killed the Demon Prince and took my victory point away.
Yep, I have backed away there. You can see I could have charged Gazgul in my turn, but I backed away and I'm holding the engine, giving me an extra VP.
Yeah.
Story of this bit: Andy moved your what's it called?
Bloat drone.
Float drone through, shot my characters. My captain is down to I think 3 wounds.
3 wounds.
But we heroically intervened into him, but it took us 2 rounds of combat to cut him in half, even though I used the Black Rage stratagem to get extra D3 attacks. Just still couldn't cut through him, even though I've got a 3 damage chain fist. Down here though, Andy, you are armed fully with hats.
I have 3 hats.
It's obviously the guy runs out of combat and he runs over there, so Andy came in and with only having 1 wound left, he stood no chance. So it was another 2 VPs for Andy.
Another 2 VPs for Andy. Nick had left him on 1 wound.
Yeah, it was my 2 VPs. That's 3 VPs I lost.
So he has reappeared there and is worth 3 victory points if we can kill him, but we think the game will be over before then.
I'm hearing the same sort of whining about Grimboard here. You know.
So down over here, there was a bauble there. My Terminators opened that and I got a Faith dice, which is rolled a 3. You can see those shadowy figures in the distance are my Terminators, who are now on another bauble. Andy has been firing his 2 squads at my Terminators, but not doing a whole lot of damage. But this combat down here has been pretty interesting.
We have the Defiler and the float drone came over here with your general.
I'll move around here. So my general, I'd accidentally left him here where Andy's finger is.
So the battle cannon and the Defiler.
Yeah, the Defiler and the bloat drone killed him and the Death Company guy. On my turn, I returned fire, and both my tanks combined managed to blow up the Defiler. But combat down here wasn't very special for me.
Typhus charged in and destroyed your...
My Sanguinor, I used the command point to try and save him. I needed to make one extra save. Failed to save him, which then meant I couldn't interrupt and kill Andy's Warlord. It was not good. I've wounded Typhus back with my Sanguinary Guard, and there aren't many Poxwalkers left, but that combat's going nowhere. Luckily, because I'm still holding the tree, which has given me a second victory point. And I think that's everything important that happened.
Yeah, so basically, we had bad turns, Andy had a good turn.
The scores on the doors. Nick has no CP left, and he has 4 victory points. Andy has 2 CP left and has 7 victory points. I have no CP left and have 4 victory points. Nick, we're doing similarly. This is Andy's 4th game of 40k since he started playing again. 3rd game, he's won all of them so far.
So, unfortunately, those 3 VPs that he's in the lead with were my VPs.
Yeah. Let's see if we can sign Andy up for the LVO with this.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back for the next turn, which we think will probably be the last one. So some Hail Mary plays coming up. Okay, join us at the end of turn 4 and the end of the game, because we've called it there. Oh, Nick, can you add my VPs on for that turn?
So you gained
2. So what happened? On Nick's turn, Nick doesn't really have much left. Nick and I, looking at Andy winning, came up with a cunning plan.
We did, it was cunning.
So what happened? So Gazgul moved round here and attacked this door, killing it. Whilst I heroically intervened my character into Gazgul. Now I needed to kill Gazgul so I could then leave combat, go over here, somehow get rid of that door and kill this guy for me to be able to get enough victory points to stop Andy's kill streak and win streak.
Yep.
In the meantime, you moved your Gretchens and the Red Gobbo over here.
Yep.
Your Red Gobbo unfortunately failed you, didn't he?
He did.
Snake Eyes to kill 2. He's nearly killed them.
Yeah, he could have killed obviously the Terminators.
But failed. He has a 2 damage gun. Pretty sweet. So in my turn, I have killed the rest of the Gretchen because they're going to auto-fail their leadership.
Yeah.
And then I'm holding that objective, which gave me one of my points. So that is the story of what happened here, because even though Nick used your faith dice, which is very cunning.
We come to there. You did 4 wounds to me that had an 4+ invulnerable save. I used my 1 on a faith dice to fail one of those wounds.
Yep.
I then passed the other 3, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I didn't kill him.
I only went down to 4 wounds. We then had the next round of combat for you.
Yeah.
I used my other face dice to keep Gazgul alive.
And then I just chopped my poor guy in half. Andy attempted to snipe Gazgul out of combat down here with his multi-melter Hellbrute, but failed.
Yeah.
Andy mopped up all Nick's orcs
Storm
with his
boys
Death
there.
Shroud.
I opened up the door and
These Death Shroud with their Santa hats.
They look good, don't they?
And they are lethal. Lethal at whatever they do. It was a bit of a stalemate under here. Typhus killed all but one of my Sanguinary Guard, but I had my Powerfist one left, and he killed Typhus in return. Andy moved over here, locked up my tank to contest the objective, but I just moved my other tank up to hold the objective, so that's my second VP there. My 2 Terminators opened both their parcels they were standing on, but unfortunately both gave me faith dice. I really needed the victory points. Andy opened fire, killed another one of my Terminators, but it was slow going. And that is the end of the turn, the end of the game, and what are we on? We come over here to our very high-tech, super efficient score sheet, and we see that Nick has 4 VPs, all gained in the first turn of the game.
Yep.
Andy has 7 VPs. I have 6, is that? No,
Yes.
6 VPs, I was 1 short.
Yeah.
If I'd have killed
Because you
Gazgul.
got 2 that turn again from there.
Oh, that was closer than it looked. But Andy's got much more stuff on the table. Like down here, his Poxwalkers may be able to get over here next turn possibly and hold this tree.
Most of your VPs, you got all 4.
Oh,
from
yeah,
that
yeah.
Tree.
4 from that tree, couple
2
up there.
from up there, really.
Yeah.
Because you did no. Mine was killing elves. As I say, me and Andy, our VPs would have swapped around if they weren't left on 1 wound.
Yep.
But
It was,
I gave Andy
if
victory points.
those 2 doors weren't there,
What
one
a
of you or I could have killed the Tech-Priest again and gained 3, which would have bumped either of us up to at least the drawing
if
position.
If you're playing more turns, that's why I kind of wanted the Gretchen anyway to go there and go.
It is. Unfortunately, we agreed to end at this time.
We did indeed.
Free player games, especially complicated Christmas ones with floating tables, take a little while to play. Okay, well, we at Team Clueless, thank you all for watching and wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And hope you get lots of nice 40k presents in your stockings. Take care, have a Happy New Year.
The